We've been taught that intelligence looks like a straight-A student or a person in a lab coat, but psychology tells a different story. True, raw cognitive power is often messy. It's loud, it's anxious, and it's deeply inconvenient. It's not about how much you know, it's about how your brain is wired to process the world. Today, we're looking at the intelligence paradox, 10 signs of a high IQ that are virtually impossible to fake. Sign number 1. Your vocabulary is colorful. There's a myth that people who swear are lazy or uneducated. Research in language sciences suggests the exact opposite. People with high verbal intelligence don't just know more polite words, they have a more expansive vocabulary across every category. When they swear, they do it with precision, selecting the exact word needed to convey a specific emotional frequency. It's not a lack of filter, it's lexical fluency. 2. You find humor in the wrong places. If you've ever had to suppress a laugh at a funeral or during a tense board meeting because you noticed a structural absurdity, your brain is likely running at a higher speed. Dark humor requires cognitive decoupling, the ability to hold a tragic reality and a logical inconsistency at the exact same time. It's a sign of emotional stability and high-level processing. 3. You are a professional predictive modeler. Others call it overthinking. Researchers call it simulation. If you're in the shower rehearsing an argument that hasn't happened yet, or mapping out 5 different ways a conversation on Thursday could go, your brain is pressure testing reality. You aren't just worrying, you're running stress tests on the future to ensure the best possible outcome. 4. You accidentally steal personalities. Ever notice you've picked up the cadence or accent of the person you're talking to? This is linguistic accommodation. For a high IQ mind, communication isn't just about words, it's about patterns. Your brain identifies the operating system of the person across from you and begins to sync up automatically. It's an involuntary reflex of a highly adaptive nervous system. 5. You have a hyperbrain. Does the sound of someone chewing or the flicker of a fluorescent light make it impossible to think? This is the hyperbrain hyperbody effect. High IQ is often linked to increased sensory sensitivity. You aren't being difficult, your brain simply lacks the standard filter that dulls the rest of the world. You're taking in more data than the average person, and sometimes that data is loud. 6. You are a rational rebel. Highly intelligent people don't break rules to be edgy. They break them because the rules don't make sense. If a person in authority gives an order that is logically flawed, a high IQ mind cannot simply turn off its critical thinking. You respect competence, not titles. To you, calling a wrong answer right just because a boss said it feels like a betrayal of reality. 7. You procrastinate on what matters most. You can handle the laundry and the emails just fine, but that big project, the one that defines you, you can't seem to start. This is because your brain can model every way that project could fail in high-definition detail. The stakes are so high that your mind stalls to protect your identity from the possibility of being less than. It's not laziness, it's an existential defense mechanism. 8. Love is your hardest subject. Relationships require surrender, but a high IQ brain is wired to observe and analyze. You notice the tiny inconsistencies in what a partner says versus what they do. You see the ending of a relationship 3 months before it happens. This constant analysis makes it difficult to stay in the present moment, making intimacy feel like a puzzle you're trying to solve rather than a feeling you're experiencing. 9. You have internal friction. When someone states a blatant falsehood as a fact, you feel it physically, like a scratch on a record. But here's the kicker, you're even harder on yourself. High intelligence is correlated with epistemic humility. You're the first to notice when your own arguments have holes, and you'll abandon a long-held belief the second the math stops adding up. 10. You think you're the least capable person in the room. This is the ultimate paradox. While the less capable are shielded by a wall of unearned confidence, the Dunning-Kruger effect, you are hyper-aware of everything you don't know. You see the variables, the uncertainties, and the sheer scale of the universe. To you, certainty isn't a sign of knowledge, it's a sign that someone hasn't thought about the problem long enough. If you've spent your life feeling too much or wondering why you can't just be simple, take a second look at these signs. These traits aren't bugs in your system, they're features of a powerful engine. Which of these hit the hardest for you? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you're ready to dive deeper into how your mind works, click the video on your screen right now.